Welcome to the Stepmom Side with Alicia Crasco, the podcast for stepmoms ready to create the life they want and one they actually have a say in. Here we talk all things stepmom life and just a little bit more. Leave the superficial conversations at the door and get ready for perspective shifts and actionable advice to help you on your way to creating the life you want, one step at a time. Welcome to the Stepmom Side podcast, where we talk about the real life stepmom stuff that makes you question your sanity and remind you that you're not actually the problem. I'm your host, Alicia, stepmom coach, truth teller, and someone who has 100% slammed a dishwasher door out of sheer frustration because the rules apparently don't apply to everyone. So let's get into it. Let me guess, you've got rules, you've got boundaries, you've got a chore chart that would make Martha Stewart weep tears of joy. But your partner, let's just say that they're a little more loosey-goosey, easygoing, go with the flow when it comes to the structure of that. Suddenly, you as the stepmom are the only one enforcing boundaries, enforcing bedtimes, asking about homework, reminding everyone that the dishes don't just magically clean themselves. Meanwhile, your partner over here is handing out snacks and watching The Mandalorian like it's not a school night. And just like that, you're the bad cop again. Sound familiar? Cool. Let's talk about it. Here's the thing. This isn't just about chores or screen time. It's about the deeper dynamic. In blended families, roles aren't clearly defined. So it's really easy to fall into that trap of being the structure person, the bad guy, if you will, while your partner becomes the fun but guilt-ridden, I don't want to upset the kids parent. And that's often not because they don't care, but it's really more so that they're carrying divorce guilt, custody guilt, time guilt, and let's not forget the I'm scared of rocking the boat syndrome. So let's talk about this before you're like, what do all these guilt mean? So divorce guilt. Even if your partner wanted the divorce, there's a very good chance they still feel guilty about it because no one really wants their family broken up, right? So there's, even if it was for the better, is for the better, your partner wanted it, there's still that divorce guilt of, I'm still not with my kids as mom and I still have to share them, which leads me into custody guilt, right? So they don't have their kids all of the time, and, or maybe they don't have them enough. And so they're like, I wish I could have them more, but I can't because of my work schedule or whatever the case may be. Which brings me to the third one, time guilt. So maybe your custody schedule is, your partner only has them like every other weekend. Let's go with that. So the kids aren't here for very long, right? They're only here for a few hours or maybe an overnight, or maybe they're only here for a couple of days a week. And your partner's like, I don't want to be the bad guy that's constantly like, do this, do that, do this, do that. Like, I want them to have fun here. So they're not like, oh, I don't want to come back. And not rocking the boat, like, or I'm scared of rocking the boat also stems from that too. Like, this is easy, it's good, even though like you and your partner might be running around like chickens with their heads cut off because you're trying to do all of the things, or maybe you're the only one that's trying to do all of the things and your partner is just like along for the ride. But they don't want to rock the boat because right now they and the kids are in this routine of like when we go to dad's house, it's vacation or it's Disneyland parenting. Like we get to do whatever we want. We get to eat whatever snacks they want, blah, blah, all of the things, right? So there's a good chance that there's also I'm scared of rocking the boat syndrome. So what do? They say yes to everything. They bend the rules. They overcompensate. I know for a fact that you have seen this. And you, my friend, end up being the only one holding the boundary bag. So this dynamic does a few not so fun things. You start resenting your partner because you're like, what the hell? And if you're like me and you came into your relationship without kids from a previous relationship, there's a good chance that you're thinking, what the hell is wrong with you? I don't even have kids and I'm telling you how to parent. I'm a better parent than you are, right? Like you start resenting your partner, like, why, like, what happened to this strong person that you are attracted to? Why all of a sudden do they cave at the drop of a hat? Why don't they, implement boundaries or all of the things? Like they are allowing the kids to cut into like the couple time that you guys have, right? So you start resenting your partner. You feel isolated, like you're parenting alone. Sometimes it feels like you are the only parent in the house. You are the only one that's keeping, the ship on track or the train on the tracks, if you will. you feel like you're parenting alone. And again, especially if you came into this relationship without kids, you're like, I didn't sign up to be a parent. What the hell is going on? You stop bringing things up because you're tired of sounding like the nag. Does this relate to you? Like, does this resonate with you? Have you stopped bringing things up because you are so sick and tired of being sick and tired of sounding like the nag? Again, it goes back to that parenting thing. It feels, let's say you have two stepkids. Well, now it feels you've got three kids, your two stepkids and your partner. And you're like, I'm so tired of like doing all of the things. I really want to use like colorful language right now, but I'm not going to. But it's just like, what in the hell is going on? How do you not see this? How do you not see that the lack of structure, the lack of routine, the lack of consistency, the lack of follow through is actually not good for your kids? How do you not see that? So you're just like, you know what? This is where, and maybe you don't consciously think this, but you're like, I'm going to disengage. The hell with them. I'm not doing anything. So you just stop doing things and you stop bringing them up. But secretly, you're that much more resentful of all of the things. And honestly, then you start questioning your relationship. Why am I staying? Why am I even here? I don't want to be a parent to my partner. That's not what I signed up for. I signed up for a partnership because I loved that person, or I love that person, or I thought that I loved that person. And now we're in this weird dynamic of I don't know that I necessarily want to stay because this is not what I signed up for. Again, one of those things that you did not know that you were signing up for when you took on somebody that was married with kids, right? Or divorced or separated with kids. And I had a moment early on when I heard too many people say, they're just kids. It's not that big of a deal. Or, oh, whatever, I can do it. And I snapped. And I was like, it is a big deal to me because I'm the only one holding the damn line. I'm the only one implementing boundaries, doing the follow through, having the consistency, doing all of the things. And that, my friend, my sweet stepmom friend, that was the turning point in my life because I was like, you know what? This isn't working. I'm so stressed out. I'm so frustrated with all of these things. What in the hell is going on? So, as you know, if you've been here for quite a while, something that we did was implement house expectations. And if you were like, what in the hell is this? Please, please, please listen to me. So, we went to marriage counseling. Our marriage counselors, I'll give you like the brief, condensed version of it because can kind of be like a long story because I'm pretty chatty. We go to marriage counseling and I'm like, I'm frustrated because I'm the adult in the situation and I'm confused by what the kids can or can't do, what they do or don't get away with. When, like, whatever boundaries there are supposed to be, sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. Like, I don't understand what's going on. And if I'm the adult in the situation, I can only imagine how the kids feel. And that was the angle I worked because if I came and said, this is crazy. You don't have any boundaries. You're not consistent. You're not following through, like all of these things. That's an attack like on my husband, right? So I was like, I'm going to put this on me, even though it really is that. Like, I'm going to put it on me and be like, I'm confused in this situation. What in the hell? Our marriage counselor, also a stepmom. So if you are, in therapy or you've got a marriage counselor or a couples counselor, whatever it is, I highly, 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 highly recommend that you have somebody that is versed, has experience with blended families, step families. Otherwise, it's almost detrimental. Actually, it is detrimental to your relationship because a blended family, step family does not operate like an original family, a first family, a nuclear family. It's not the same. Like all of the roles are different. Everything is so different. So our marriage counselor was like, it sounds like you guys need house expectations. And I was like, oh my God, I think I love her. Can we pay her double for this session? Like she is amazing. Um, but then as soon as she said you need house expectations, I was like, this is great. Everyone's gonna understand like what's expected of them. This is perfect. So then I stopped listening and I'm like Rolodexing like all of these things. And she's like, Alicia, come back to me. You can't you can't be making house expectations for 1.5 million things. You have to choose a few of them and go for that. Go off of that. So I was like, okay. Well, meanwhile, my husband is like, of course she's got a million things that she's thinking. He doesn't say this, but I know him well enough that I can read his face like about my nuances, my own quirks. So that's how we came up with house expectations. So here's what I recommend. Have house expectations. Set them as a team. So sit down with your partner and ask, what kind of home do we want to create? And this takes it from my rules versus yours to What do we want for this home? So get clear on 3 to 5 non-negotiables here. Keep it simple, but keep it mutual. Post it, refer to it, team energy only. So us, we came up with seven, I believe. Yeah, seven. And then so we did it together, and then we had a family meeting with the kids. I thought I was going to puke. I survived, sweating profusely, but I survived, my friend, and got buy-in from them. So then that way it wasn't like the shock, like, hey, by the way, bam, we set up some house expectations. If you want a little bit of support with navigating house expectations and setting them up, head to aliciacrasco.com/expectations. I've got a free resource on this. I will also post it in the show notes. That way you have got it. So, number one, set some house expectations. Number two, call out the bad cop dynamic with love. With love. So, try this. I've noticed I'm the one enforcing the rules, and it's making me feel like the bad guy. I want us to be a united front. Frame it as a connection issue, not an accusation, right? Remember how I went in and said, I'm the adult in the situation and I'm confused, and not you're an idiot because you don't enforce anything with the kids, or you don't hold them accountable, or there's no consistency, or there's no follow through. I made it about like how I felt like we were on different sheets of music. So, number one, expectations. Number two, call out the bad cop dynamic. Number three, let natural consequences do their thing. I think this is really, really hard as a stepmom because if you're like me, you think, I'm so good at running my life, let me run yours. My ideas are so great. Like, here, I'll even tell them to you. Like, I'm so good at this. But you don't have to chase everyone around like a stepmom on duty hall monitor. If they don't do their chores, there's no TV. There's no Wi-Fi. No crisis, just consequences. Remember those house expectations that we set in tip number one? You can put consequences in there. We did that too. If you don't do this, then what do you think we should do? Let the system work instead of shouldering it all yourself. Number four, give yourself permission to step back. Another pitfall I see stepmoms fall into. Give yourself permission to step back. If your partner won't get on board, you can lovingly disengage, not as a punishment, but as an act of peace. Remember earlier when I was talking about like, the hell with you guys, I'm just not going to do anything. No, we're not. We're not doing that because that is out of spite. We're not cutting our nose off to spite our face. Like, absolutely not. So here's what we can say. I love you and this family, your kids, but I can't carry the whole load. I'm stepping back until we can parent as a team. I can't carry the whole load. I'm taking it on. I can't carry the whole load. I'm stepping back. So I'm not coming out with guns blazing, being like, I'm not doing anything for you ungrateful pieces of crap. Like, no one ever says thank you. No one ever follows. No one, we set these boundaries. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. Nope. I'm doing this because of this. This is about me. This is for my own mental health. This is for my own sanity. This is why I'm doing this. Is it hard? Absolutely. Is it necessary? Also, abso-freaking-lutely. Like, being the bad cop isn't a personality flaw. It's a byproduct of being the only one enforcing consistency, and that's not sustainable. And I feel like stepmoms that like structure and routine and consistency and follow through and all of the things are like, I don't mean not stepmoms, but I feel like women that like all of those things somehow, some way end up finding themselves in a stepmom role. And it's like, it's the biggest stressor ever because it's like you don't really have all of the authority, really, all of the say to like say or do anything in your family, but yet you want to do all of these things. It sucks. So if you're nodding your head and fuming like while you're folding laundry or, out for a drive, you're sitting in your car after like a Target run and you're like I said, nodding and fuming, girlfriend, it is time to get support. Come join us inside the Stepmom Side community where we talk about these exact same dynamics and how to change them. Or if this is wrecking your relationship and you need help navigating the conversation with your partner, like I did, like I said, I was like, okay, you know what? We're 3 months into marriage. Wait, let me see. Yeah, 3 months into marriage, and we need help because I did not sign up to get divorced. Either we need to get help or I'm out of here. If it is wrecking your relationship like it wrecked mine, and you need help navigating this conversation with your partner and getting them to see your side of things, come see me. Like, let's do some one-to-one coaching. Also, like, the both of you can come too. Something that isn't really talked about all that much, I do talk about it a lot, like in the community and in coaching, is your partner probably isn't listening to you because they are too close to the situation. They are, I mean, you are emotionally invested in the family and their kids, but they are much more emotionally invested. And sometimes they can't see the forest through the trees, but they are a lot closer to the situation. So it's a lot harder for them to see the things that you're pointing out. And then, of course, there's that other part of like, of course, you're going to say bad things about my kids because you're the evil stepmom, even though they know that you're not, right? But if this episode hit home, please share it with another stepmom who's tired of being the fun sponge in her own house. And I just want to remind you, you are not crazy. You're just the only one trying to maintain some damn order. And you've got this. I've got your back. And I will chat with you next week. Thanks for taking time to listen to this week's episode. If anything was helpful or resonated with you, please share it on social media and tag me. I'm just at Alicia Crasco. And if you could leave a 5-star rating and a review while you're at it, that would also be really helpful. And if you find yourself struggling with your stepmom journey and you want a little bit more support without the hefty price tag of coaching, you might want to check out the Stepmom Side community, which is my own private community for stepmoms, where you get to connect with other stepmoms around the world and myself, where I hold weekly office hours and monthly group coaching. It's kind of like you have your own personal coach in your own back pocket. Again, without that hefty price tag. See you next week.